What up, everybody? JP here, and this is going to be another review of a chainsaw film. And today we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the year 2003. This is the remake. It has a tagline of "What you know about fear doesn't even come close." I guess we'll just jump right into the story. You got five young kids, young adults traveling across Texas. They just came from Mexico, where they bought a giant pinata filled with pot. They're passing their way through Texas. They're going to a Leonard Skinner concert. They're a few hours, like 6 or something hours away. They end up picking up a hitchhiker because it's super hot. She's all out of it. She sounds crazy. She's talking about there's a bad man and stuff. Then this isn't really a spoiler because it happens so early. But she ends up blowing her head off, which actually looked pretty cool. Some of the better gore in the movie. I remember when I first seen it, it looked a lot better than it is when I see it now, but it's still pretty good. So they have to, find the sheriff. So they stop at a gas station. They call the sheriff. He says to meet them at the old Crawford Mill. Which is, weird. So they take the body. They go there to meet him. He doesn't show up. They run into this little kid. He says that the sheriff's home getting drunk. So they're like, I guess we'll go there. So two of them decide to walk there to the house. And it's they don't know that it's also the residence of Leatherface. Stuff happens, people get lost, people get scared, people run into the family, chaos goes from there. It's that's basically the story. Stuff happens, people are starting to die and stuff. Let's go into the characters. I really, well, I don't, it's not the characters, the acting. Okay, the acting. Um, I thought it was really solid. When especially from these two people, one being Jonathan Tucker, I think that's his name. He played Morgan in the movie, and he was also in The Ruins, I think. The scene where he's forced to reenact the suicide, I thought that he did a really good job in that scene. He really nailed being like scared for his life. It really seemed legit, and really jumped out of the screen at me, and I really felt it. And then the other guy is Adam or something. He's the blonde haired dude. He did a very good job of being also scared and in pain. I thought his when he was in pain, his acting was pretty realistic. The screams didn't seem too fake. Everything seemed pretty genuine. So I think the acting in this movie was pretty solid. Overall, watching it this time, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I don't really see a lot wrong with this movie. I liked it better this time than I did the last time I watched it. It's obviously not, you know, as good or, up there with the original. We already got that across, but I'm just saying as a remake and as a, kind of a standalone film too, I guess. Um, Even though it's hard to just call it a standalone film because it is a remake, and you have to kind of take that into consideration when talking about it. So anyway, let's skip past that. The locations. I really like the locations in this film. I think the film's shot really well too, and the score is pretty solid too. The locations, though, I really like. You have the nasty gas station with the pigs' heads in the display cases. Um, you have the mill, which is the abandoned steel mill or whatever kind of mill it was. All weeds all grown in, like abandoned cars and stuff. You got ornaments, all the little trinket things that you usually see in the chainsaw films. They're hanging everywhere. that place is pretty cool. Then you have the slaughterhouse, which is also pretty cool. You actually get to go inside there during a scene, and you have the regular Hewitt house. They call them the Hewitt family in this one, not the Sawyer family. I prefer Sawyer. Don't know really why they changed it, but Hewitt's alright too, I guess. That house looks really cool. I kind of prefer the normal looking house, but this one just looks really cool. So it's it's pretty decent, I guess. But the basement is like, half filled with water. You got nasty, like grimy stuff everywhere, fingers and dead bodies, and um, just gross stuff everywhere. Blood and hooks and chains and all kind of twine and stuff. I wish that they could have maybe that place should smell really bad. But I know it's probably hard to get a scent through film, but it looked kind of like clean dirty, if you know what I mean, like almost like fake dirty. I guess I'm trying to say. Um, but it did look cool. But it did look like a movie. Um, yeah, and so speaking of like all the locations, the chase scene in this one I thought was pretty solid. You go from the house to um, the the old slaughterhouse, then back to the gas station. It goes all over. I like that about it. Um, all the characters are pretty solid. I like the order that they died off. I was kind of, when I remember first seeing it, I did not expect it to go through the order that it did. Um, I wish there could have been a little bit more gore and blood and stuff. There is a fair amount, but I think that really could have made this movie a lot better, to have some really gross, face cut off scenes or something like that. Um, then you have Leatherface himself as a character. He is, to me, just a guy in a mask in this one. I don't really feel any of his personality shining through or anything. Even in the first film, Leatherface had a lot of personality. The way that he was looked super nervous, that people kept showing up at his house and stuff. This one just seems like a killer in a mask to me. Um, and it's whatever. He did look pretty cool, I guess, though. Then the family. I always talk about how I like the family. This family seems a bit more realistic than any of the other families, which is whatever. I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about it. I think they went a little bit overboard on the characters. I didn't really care for too many of them, except for um, Sheriff Hoyt, Arlie Army. I love Full Metal Jacket, and that's what he's most known for. So I know a lot of people say that the movie is the Arlie Army show, but the Chainsaw movies was never mainly about Leatherface as the lead, as the main villain anyway. I think that he's the perfect scumbag character who just uses his manipulation, and he's kind of clever to get people to do and abuses his cop gimmick thing that he's doing, and he gets people to do, say, and react certain ways that he plans it out. He wants them to do certain things just so he can retaliate in a harsh way. He's really a scumbag. He knows what he's doing. He really almost truly seems to get joy out of watching people squirm and be terrified. And I like that character. And I like the character because you want to hate him, because you really start to feel pretty bad for what these people are having to go through, and most of it's from him. So I think that about wraps it up. It's a pretty solid remake to me. I don't really, I never really looked into why people don't like this one so much. Um, but to me, I don't really see much wrong with it. There's some minor things here and there, but it's pretty good. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Texas Chainsaw Massacre '03. I actually enjoyed it a lot this time. So see you guys in the beginning, and that'll be the last one before the new film. So peace out, guys.